Okay, we'll call the March 26, 2025 Troy Planning Commission meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. McGarry?
Here.
Mr. Wolke?
Here.
Mrs. Ehrlich?
Here.
Mr. Titterington?
Here.
Mayor? Here. Mr. Westmeyer?
Here.
Mr. Emmerich? We have a quorum.
Okay, good. The minutes from the February 12th, our last meeting, were disseminated to everyone. Is there any additions, deletions, or revisions?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, they're approved. Okay, first order of business is the rezoning application for 191 Commerce Center Boulevard for portion of parcel DO8 105472. Staff have a report.
Yes, sir. So this is a request by the applicant, Mr. Sweeney, for the Planning Commission to consider the rezoning of 191 Commerce Center Boulevard from R4 single-family residential and the OC1 office commercial district to the M2 light industrial district. This single parcel of land has 3 different zoning districts on it, so it's a little bit unique. So if the verbiage is a little confusing, that is why. It's important to note that 23 of the 29 acres of land is currently M2 light industrial, so the vast majority is already industrial. The comprehensive plan, which we just adopted last November, does show this as future industrial, and that is done as, you can see a copy of that as Exhibit B of this report. It kind of has a blow-up map to the right. The purple is all future light industrial is what our comp plan, future land use map shows. Due to the straightforward nature of this rezoning request and the compliance with our new comprehensive plan, and the fact that council is required to hold a public hearing if the request proceeds on, staff does not feel that a public hearing before the Planning Commission is warranted. It is staff's opinion that the proposed rezoning will achieve the desired M2 light industrial district as identified in the comprehensive plan, and again, 23 of the 29 acres is already industrial. Staff is recommending that the Planning Commission provide a positive recommendation to City Council to rezone the OC1 and R4 portions of this property due to it's consistent with the intent and purposes of the zoning code, it's consistent with the surrounding zoning districts to the north, and it's consistent with the comprehensive plan. And that'll conclude my report.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, how did this come about with the zoning that extends out from the residential area?
My initial thought when I looked at this was that it was kind of a natural, or I guess a required buffer that they put in place to protect the properties. We are, when this project moves forward, we would be requiring buffers as well, so it really achieves the same purpose, just a different zoning district. They are going to do their stormwater detention along those properties, which will be a natural buffer already.
And that buffering requirement is part of our subdivision regulations, and you've already had conversations with the developer to that effect, and they understand.
Correct.
So essentially, the buffer would still exist, just as part of the development. Okay.
Correct.
The only other question that I had on it was the OC1 district that parallels the Commerce Center Boulevard to the, I guess that would be to the east, from McKeg Avenue, that corner. Being as narrow as that is, if that's zoned industrial, is there potentially anything that could go in there?
Those are actually different pieces of land. So if you look at Exhibit A zoning map,
it's just where the
red is surrounded.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So something OC1 could go in there right now.
Correct.
Okay, so that would not be changing. None of the yellow, it's outside the orange boundary change.
Yeah, everything with the red boundary is not a part of this request.
Okay, great, thank you. Any other questions or
Well,
comments? For
Yeah, I noted that Exhibit E has a list of adjoining properties. Have those folks been notified of this?
They won't be notified until the required public hearing at the council level.
They will be notified prior to
Yes,
that?
sir. Everyone within 250 feet of the request.
I'll make a motion that we not hold a public hearing at this level, given the fact that the council will hold a required one.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second not to hold a public hearing. A yes vote means no public hearing on our part. That's right. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wolke?
Yes.
Mrs. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Mr. Westmeyer?
Yes.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Motion is passed. Commission will not hold a public hearing.
Okay. Any other discussion on the rezoning issue?
Yeah, we need a recommendation to council.
Based on the fact that this into rezoning would require buffering, I will make the motion to accept the recommending the rezoning.
Okay, we have a motion to recommend the rezoning to council, positive recommendation. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
Mr. Westmeyer?
Yes.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Mr. Wolke?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Okay. The only other item on the business was Ms. Shoemaker has requested council to permit residents to keep chickens. She has advised the request will be forwarded to the planning commission. Is Ms. Shoemaker in attendance? Would you like to address that, commission? I know we're not prepared to act on this today, but, you know, since there was a request for council, please proceed, with just, giving us some facts and
Okay,
we can go
sure.
from there.
Yeah, I have some things for you guys. I know Pickwood just passed it, so I had some printouts of what they agreed on, so I'll pass those around to you.
Start there. Yep.
Yeah, and please state your full name and address for the recording, so we've got it on record. Okay?
Sure. All right, my name is Annie Shoemaker. I live at 263 Elmwood Avenue here in Troy. And I would love to bring chickens to Troy. I've worked in vet clinics since I was 16 years old. I was also in 4-H from the time I was 9 to 18 years of age. I showed sheep, pigs, and chickens. The reason I'm telling you this is because I'm not someone that just watched a cute chicken video and now I want chickens. I would never propose an idea that would bring harm to any animal or make our town look anything less than it is. So here are some wonderful facts about chickens that I think would be great for our community. Chickens are great bug eaters. They consume a variety of insects such as beetles and grubs. That makes them really good at helping out with pest control. They eat termites, ticks, slugs, snails, maggots, and mosquitoes. So for the people that are worried about them attracting flies and rodents, guess what? They eat those too. They will also eat table scraps. There was a study done in Belgium where they offered 3 chickens per household to families that wanted them. They had 2,000 families raise their hands. So they bought 6,000 chickens and distributed them throughout the city. Within the first month, it dropped 100 tons of food waste from the landfill in that area. Also, I think it would be a great way to teach kids where their food comes from. Chickens will start to lay eggs around 20 weeks of age. If they are not taken care of properly, their eggs will show it. So with proper diet, they will provide your family with great tasting eggs, and they have more nutrients than the eggs purchased at the store. The eggs you purchase from the store are already months old by the time they reach your fridge. If you have a child that is interested in being in 4-H, this will give them a great opportunity to do that. Chickens are easy to show, And 4-H taught me a lot as a kid, like what hard work is and how to properly take care of animals, and you make some friends along the way. If one family purchased six chickens, depending on the breed, that small flock would give that family 20 to 30 eggs a week. That's more than plenty. That's where sharing with your neighbors or simply helping out a family in need, another great way that could help our community. I did a poll on the Troy, Ohio Citizens Facebook page to see what the town thought. I got some interesting comments. I think people are just uneducated on the matter. 422 people said yes, and 86 people said no. I wanted to go over some basic chicken knowledge to address some of the concerns people had. 1, you don't need roosters to have eggs. Yes, you will pay more to get chickens set up in your yard and all the things that they need than just going to the store and buying eggs. But you will know where your eggs are coming from and everything that was put into them. For instance, I make homemade spaghetti sauce every year for my garden. It would be easier to go to the store and buy a jar, but mine tastes so much better, and I know everything that was put into that sauce. 3, you don't need heat lamps inside your coop for the winter. Chickens will keep themselves warm. Just add extra bedding and wrap the outside with plastic. Noise. Yes, when chickens are laying eggs, that's when they are a little noisy. It only lasts for a few minutes and they are done. Keep in mind that they only do this once a day, not like a dog that barks at everything or every time some person walks by. When you go to your local feed store to purchase your baby chicks, you will have them already sexed. They will have them already sexed for you. The ones that haven't will be marked unsexed. They will also give a description of each breed, how friendly they are, and how many eggs they lay a year, noise level. I suggest picking the right breed for your yard and family. Do chickens fly? Yes, they do. There are ways around that as well. You can clip their wings, which is really easy to do, or you can make chicken tunnels out of chicken wire that are just big enough for the chicken to walk through. You will have them in a coop and then in a run underneath the coop with food and water. The food and water does not need to be stored inside the coop. I do think that only allowing people who have privacy fences will help keep them in too. The smell. You will find that having only 6 chickens is no different than having a dog in your yard. If cleaned out once a week, it will not be a problem. Interesting fact about chickens is they come out of their coop when the sun rises to eat and drink, and then as soon as dusk comes, they go back in and perch for the night. They kind of put themselves to bed. You will find that the inside of the coop there is very little mess. I just want people to keep in mind that not everyone is going to get chickens, but with the rules set in place for permits and just spending the extra money to get them, not everyone's going to have the money to do that or want to put the effort in it. And I think that would stop impulse buying. Cities that allow chickens are Piqua, Chip City, and New Carlisle.
Thank you very much for presenting that. Did you submit a copy of that, or can you submit a copy of that to us?
Yeah.
And then we can look at it for further discussion, maybe discuss it with the planning department.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question, Mr. Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. At the bottom, it talks about how they have to get poultry certification from the extension, whatever.
Yeah, from the Ohio State.
Does that cover how to identify if your chickens get bird flu, or what to do to keep them from getting bird flu, or what to do if they do get bird flu?
I haven't looked into that, but I've done a little bit of research on the bird flu. I mean, it's something that's been around for years. The main thing that I came up with is it's mainly towards, larger, like bird farming facilities. I mean, I'm not saying that a small flock couldn't get it, but when I was a kid, I mean, it was around and farmers just treated it. They didn't, like they do now, where they have to put everyone to sleep and inoculate the whole. So I know that's changed over the years, but I'll have to look into that with the Ohio State. I didn't pull up the program or anything. I just printed out what Piqua discussed, and I thought that would at least give people some knowledge on them. because I think that's, a lot of people don't know a lot about him.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.